Hello, and thank you for being here today. Before we begin, I need to make something absolutely clear. Everything I am about to share with you is general information only. It is not personal financial advice tailored to your individual circumstances. Everyone's situation is different, so please, before you make any decisions about your money, your investments, or your retirement, speak with a licensed financial advisor who can review your specific needs. Now, let us begin. Take a moment right now. Take a deep breath with me. Breathe in slowly, hold it, and breathe out. I know why you are here. I know what brought you to this conversation. It is not curiosity. It is not casual interest. It is something much deeper. It is fear. Real, legitimate fear that someone out there is trying to take what you have spent your entire life building. And I am going to tell you something that might be hard to hear. That fear is justified, because right now, at this very moment, there are scams operating across Australia that are specifically designed to target people exactly like you. People over 50, people with superannuation balances, people with savings, people with homes, people who have worked hard, who have done everything right, and who are now trying to navigate retirement in a world that has become increasingly complex and dangerous. Perhaps you have already had the phone call, the one where someone claims to be from your bank, from the tax office, from Centrelink, asking you to verify your details. Or maybe you have received the text message, the one that looks like it is from Australia Post or your superannuation fund, with a link asking you to click. Or perhaps you have seen the advertisement on social media, the one with the trusted celebrity face promising incredible returns on a new investment opportunity. And maybe, just maybe, you hesitated. You wondered if it might be legitimate. You felt that flutter of uncertainty in your stomach, that moment where you were not quite sure what to do. And that moment, that exact moment of hesitation, is what the scammers are counting on. Because they know that you are not naive. They know that you are not stupid. But they also know that you are human, and humans can be manipulated. Let me tell you something I have learned after 3 decades in financial planning. The scams that are operating today are more sophisticated than anything we have seen before. They are not the clumsy Nigerian prince emails of the past. They are professional. They are convincing. They use technology that can replicate voices, fake websites that look identical to legitimate ones, and psychological tactics that have been refined to perfection. And the stakes have never been higher for you, because unlike when you were 30 or even 40, you do not have time to recover from a mistake. You cannot just work a few more years to rebuild your savings. This is your retirement fund we are talking about, your security, your dignity, your ability to live independently, your peace of mind. Everything you have worked for is on the line. So I am not going to sugarcoat this. I am not going to tell you that if you just follow a few simple rules, you will be completely safe, because the truth is more complicated than that. The scammers are smart. They are adaptable. They are always finding new ways to exploit people. But what I can do, what I will do, is give you knowledge, real, practical, detailed knowledge about how these scams work, how to spot them, and how to protect yourself. And I want you to understand something right now, before we go any further. If you have been scammed, or if you have come close to being scammed, you are not alone. You are not foolish. You are not to blame. These criminals are professionals. They do this for a living. They know exactly what buttons to push. And feeling ashamed or embarrassed only helps them, because it keeps you silent. So please let go of that shame right now, because we are going to face this together. Now, let me take you back. Let me paint you a picture of what life used to be like. Go back 30 years, 40 years, even 50 years. Think about what Australia was like then. If you were retiring in the 1980s or early 90s, the world was a simpler place. Not necessarily easier, but simpler. You probably had a pension from your employer, or you had the age pension from the government, and that was enough because the cost of living was manageable. You could buy a decent house in the suburbs for $50,000. Petrol was affordable. Healthcare was mostly bulk billed. The basics of life did not cost a fortune. And scams? Well, they existed, of course they did. There were door-to-door salesmen selling dodgy investments. There were pyramid schemes. There were con artists. But they were easier to spot. They had to look you in the eye. They had to come to your door or meet you in person. And there was something about that face-to-face interaction that made people more cautious. You could see if someone looked shifty. You could trust your instincts. But then the world changed. The internet arrived. Mobile phones became ubiquitous. Email replaced letters. Online banking replaced going to the branch. And suddenly we were all living in a digital world. A world where you could transfer thousands of dollars with a few clicks. A world where someone on the other side of the planet could contact you instantly. A world where nothing was quite what it seemed. And for your generation, this transition happened quickly. Too quickly, perhaps. You went from writing checks and visiting bank branches to doing everything on your phone. You went from knowing your bank manager by name to never speaking to the same person twice. You went from a world where trust was built on relationships to a world where you are supposed to trust a faceless system. Now, add to that the economic pressures. Australia has changed dramatically. Property prices in our major cities have exploded. What cost $50,000 in the 80s now costs over $1 million in many suburbs. The cost of living has risen relentlessly. Healthcare costs more every year. Aged care is eye-wateringly expensive. And while superannuation was supposed to solve the retirement problem, many Australians find themselves with balances that simply are not enough. The age pension, once a reliable safety net, now comes with complex means tests and asset tests. The thresholds seem to change constantly, and navigating Centrelink has become a bureaucratic nightmare. You need a degree just to understand the forms. So here you are. You have your superannuation, hopefully. You might have some savings. You might own your home, and you are trying to work out how to make it last for what could be 30 years or more. You are worried about inflation eating away at your purchasing power. You are worried about unexpected medical costs. You are worried about aged care fees. And in that state of worry, in that state of vulnerability, you become a target. Because the scammers know all of this. They know you have money. They know you are worried. They know you might not be as tech-savvy as younger generations, and they exploit every single one of those factors ruthlessly. The scams that are targeting Australian retirees today fall into several categories, and I'm going to walk you through each one, slowly and clearly, so you understand exactly how they work. First, let me tell you about the impersonation scam. This is one of the most prevalent and dangerous scams operating right now. Here's how it works. You receive a phone call. The caller ID shows that it is from your bank, maybe Commonwealth Bank, maybe Westpac, maybe NAB or ANZ. The number looks legitimate because they've spoofed it. That means they have used technology to make it appear as though they are calling from the bank's real number. The person on the other end sounds professional. They might even know some of your details, your name, your address, perhaps even your account number. They tell you there's been suspicious activity on your account. Someone has tried to make a large withdrawal, or there have been unusual transactions, and they need to verify your identity to protect you. So they ask for your details, your date of birth, your account number, your password, perhaps even your internet banking security token codes. And because the call seems legitimate, because the number looks right, because they sound professional, you provide the information, and within minutes, your accounts are emptied. Or here's another version. You receive a text message that appears to be from your bank. It says your account has been locked due to suspicious activity. There's a link. You need to click it to unlock your account. You click the link. It takes you to a website that looks exactly like your bank's website. Identical logo, same colors, same layout. You enter your username and password, and the scammers now have access to your online banking.
This same technique is used to impersonate the Australian Taxation Office. You receive a call saying you owe back taxes, you will be arrested if you do not pay immediately, or that you are due a refund but you need to provide your bank details to receive it. Or it's Centrelink calling saying there's a problem with your pension payments, or Services Australia saying your Medicare card has been compromised. All of these are fake, all of them. The real ATO does not call threatening arrest. The real Centrelink does not ask for your banking passwords. The real banks do not send text messages with links asking you to log in. But the scammers know that if they create enough urgency, enough fear, you might not stop to think. Second, we have the romance scam. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That would never happen to me. I'm too smart for that. But let me tell you, some of the most intelligent, educated, cautious people I have ever met have fallen for romance scams. Because these scammers are not just after your money, they're after your heart.
Here is how it works. You might be widowed, or divorced, or simply lonely. You join a dating website or a social media platform. Someone contacts you. They are charming, attractive. They seem genuinely interested in you. They say all the right things. They ask about your day. They remember details you have shared. They make you feel special, wanted, loved. The relationship develops over weeks or months. You exchange messages every day. Perhaps you talk on the phone. They always have a reason why they cannot meet in person. They live overseas. They are working on an oil rig. They are in the military. They are a doctor with Médecins Sans Frontières. Always something that sounds plausible. And then the requests start. Small at first. They need help with an emergency, a medical bill, a temporary cash flow problem. They promise to pay you back. And because you have feelings for them, because you trust them, you send the money. And then there is another emergency, and another, and before you know it, you have sent thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. And then they disappear, and you realize it was all a lie. Every word, every promise, every expression of love. The emotional devastation of a romance scam is often worse than the financial loss, because it is not just about the money, it is about the betrayal, the humiliation, the loss of trust. Many victims become deeply depressed. Some never fully recover. Third, we have the investment scam. These are particularly insidious because they prey on your desire to make your retirement funds last longer. You see an advertisement, usually on social media. It features a well-known Australian, maybe a celebrity, maybe a businessman, maybe a politician. And they are talking about a new investment opportunity, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, foreign exchange trading, some new technology platform. The advertisement looks professional. The website looks legitimate. There are testimonials from other investors. There are graphs showing incredible returns. And there is always urgency. This opportunity will not last. You need to act now. Limited spots available. Get in before it's too late. You invest a small amount at first, maybe $1,000, just to test it. And miraculously, you see returns. Your 1,000 becomes 1,200, then 1,500. It's working. So you invest more, maybe 10,000, maybe 20,000, maybe everything you have, because you can see it growing on your dashboard. The numbers keep going up. But then, when you try to withdraw your money, problems arise. There are fees you were not told about, tax obligations, administrative costs, and they need you to deposit more money to release your funds. So you do. And then there is another fee, and another. And eventually you realize the truth. It was all fake. The celebrity never endorsed it. The testimonials were fabricated. The dashboard showing your growing balance was just numbers on a screen. Your money is gone. Fifth, the energy rebate scam, or government grant scam. You receive a message, often by text or email, saying you are eligible for a government energy rebate, or a cost of living payment, or a COVID relief grant that you never claimed. All you need to do is provide your bank details to receive the payment.
The message includes official-looking logos. It might even have an Australian government crest. It looks completely legitimate. You fill in your details, your name, your date of birth, your bank account number, your MyGov login. And within hours, your bank account is emptied, or your MyGov account is compromised, giving scammers access to your Medicare, Centrelink, and tax information. Sixth, the grandparent scam. This one is particularly cruel. You receive a phone call or a message. The person claims to be your grandchild or your child or someone calling on their behalf. There's been an emergency, a car accident, a legal problem, an arrest, a medical crisis.
They need money immediately. They're crying. They're desperate. They beg you not to tell other family members because they are embarrassed. The scammer creates such panic, such urgency, that you do not think clearly. You do not verify. You just act because you love them, because you want to help. You send the money, sometimes thousands of dollars, through a wire transfer, through cryptocurrency, through gift cards. And only later, when you speak to your actual grandchild, do you discover they were never in trouble. It was all a lie. Seventh, the cryptocurrency and investment seminar scam. You are invited to a free seminar, usually held at a nice hotel or conference center. The topic is wealth creation in retirement, or protecting your assets from inflation, or maximizing your superannuation returns. It sounds educational. It is free. You attend. The presenters are polished, professional. They show impressive credentials. They talk about the failures of traditional investments. They explain how banks are not giving you good returns, how your superannuation fund is charging too much in fees. And they have the solution, a new investment strategy, usually involving cryptocurrency or overseas property or some complex financial instrument you have never heard of. They create urgency. They offer a special deal for seminar attendees only. They pressure you to sign up before you leave. And many people do, because they have been there for 2 hours, they have been given free food and coffee, and they feel obligated. And the investment? It is either completely fraudulent or it is so high risk and high fee that you are virtually guaranteed to lose money. Eighth, the direct payment scam targeting the age pension. Someone contacts you offering to help you get more age pension or to help you qualify when you currently do not. They claim to be experts in Centrelink rules. They know loopholes. They can restructure your assets to maximize your entitlements. All you need to do is pay them a fee and transfer some assets to them temporarily. You pay the fee, you sign documents, and then they disappear with your money. Or worse, the restructuring they have done is illegal, and you end up in trouble with Centrelink, facing penalties and having to repay money. Ninth, the funeral and prepaid services scam. Someone contacts you offering prepaid funeral plans. They say it is smart to plan ahead, to lock in current prices, to spare your family the burden. The deal sounds good. You pay a deposit, or you pay in full. But the company is not legitimate, or it goes bankrupt, and when the time comes, your family discovers nothing was actually paid for. And 10th, the charity scam. After a natural disaster, after a tragedy, after something in the news, you receive requests for donations. The cause sounds worthy: bushfire victims, flood relief, children's cancer research, but the charity is fake. The website looks real, the emails look professional, but your donation goes straight into a scammer's pocket. Now, those are 10 of the most common scams, but new ones emerge constantly. The methods change, the stories change, but the psychology remains the same. They all rely on creating emotion, fear, urgency, greed, love, sympathy. Because when you are emotional, you do not think clearly, you do not verify, you just react. And that is exactly what they want. Let me introduce you to Bruce and Jenny.
They are not real people, but their story is based on real cases I have seen too many times. Bruce is 72. Jenny is 69. They live in a comfortable home they bought in the 1980s. It is paid off. They have about $380,000 in superannuation between them. They receive a part-age pension. They have about $60,000 in a savings account for emergencies. They are careful with money. They have always been careful. They do not take risks. They do not chase get-rich-quick schemes. They are, by any measure, sensible people. One Tuesday morning, Bruce receives a phone call. The caller ID shows it is from the Commonwealth Bank. Bruce banks with Commonwealth. The voice on the other end is professional, calm, reassuring. She introduces herself as Sarah from the fraud prevention team. She tells Bruce that there has been suspicious activity on his account. Someone tried to withdraw $15,000. The bank blocked it, but they need to verify Bruce's identity and secure his account. Bruce is immediately concerned. $15,000? Who would try to take that? Sarah asks for his full name and date of birth to verify his identity. Bruce provides them. She then asks for his account number. Bruce hesitates for a moment, but the call seems legitimate. The number showed it was from the bank, so he provides it. Sarah then says they need to move his money to a secure holding account while they investigate the fraud, just temporarily to protect it. She will walk him through the process. She stays on the phone with him as he logs into his internet banking. She tells him exactly what buttons to click. She assures him this is standard procedure. Bruce, trusting that he is speaking to his bank, follows her instructions. He transfers $60,000 from his savings account to an account number Sarah provides. She tells him he will receive confirmation within 24 hours, and the money will be returned to his account once the investigation is complete. Bruce hangs up feeling relieved. The bank has protected him. Or so he thinks. The next day, he checks his account. The $60,000 is gone. No confirmation has arrived. He calls the real Commonwealth Bank. They tell him they never called him. They never asked him to transfer money. He has been scammed. Bruce is devastated. That $60,000 was their emergency fund, their safety net. It was for unexpected medical costs, for helping their daughter who is going through a divorce, for repairs to the house, for peace of mind, and it is gone. He reports it to the police. He reports it to the bank, but the chances of recovery are slim. The money has already been moved offshore, split up, laundered through multiple accounts. The scammers are professionals. They know how to hide their tracks. Jenny is beside herself. How could this happen? Bruce has always been so careful, so cautious. They blame themselves. They feel foolish, embarrassed. They do not want to tell their children. They do not want to be seen as victims, as gullible, as old. The stress affects their health. Bruce cannot sleep. Jenny develops anxiety. Their relationship becomes strained. They argue about money for the first time in decades. And the worst part is the feeling of violation, the loss of trust, not just in others, but in themselves, in their judgment, in their ability to protect themselves. Now, could this have been prevented? Absolutely. Let me show you exactly where things went wrong and what Bruce should have done. First, Bruce answered the call. The golden rule is this: if someone calls you claiming to be from your bank, from the tax office, from Centrelink, from any organization, do not trust the call. It does not matter what the caller ID shows. It can be faked. Instead, hang up, then call the organization back yourself using a number you find independently, on your bank statement, on the back of your card, on their official website that you navigate to yourself. Second, Bruce provided personal information. Your bank already has your details. They do not need to verify your date of birth or account number. If someone is asking for information the organization should already have, that is a red flag. Third, Bruce was told to move his money urgently. No legitimate organization will ever ask you to move your money to protect it. That is not how banks work. That is not how fraud prevention works. Any request to transfer money, especially urgently, is a scam. Fourth, Bruce allowed someone to instruct him through internet banking. Your bank will never, ever ask you to log in and transfer money while on the phone. That is something only scammers do. Fifth, Bruce did not verify. He did not hang up and call the bank back. He did not speak to his wife first. He did not pause to think. He acted on emotion and urgency, and that is exactly what the scammer was counting on. So what should Bruce have done? The moment someone called claiming to be from the bank, he should have said, "Thank you for letting me know. I will call the bank directly to deal with this," and then hung up. Then he should have called the Commonwealth Bank using the number on his bank statement, and he would have discovered there was no suspicious activity, no fraud attempt, no problem at all. The whole call was a scam from the beginning. And even if there had been real suspicious activity, the bank would have dealt with it when he called them back. He would not have lost anything. But because he trusted the caller, because he did not verify, he lost $60,000. Now, what can Bruce and Jenny do now? First, they reported it immediately, which was correct. They reported it to the bank, to the police, to ScamWatch. That is important, even if recovery is unlikely. It helps authorities track these criminals. It contributes to statistics that might lead to better protections, and it warns others. Second, they need to protect what they have left. Change all their passwords. Set up multi-factor authentication on their banking. Monitor their accounts daily for any other suspicious activity. Consider freezing their credit files with credit reporting agencies to prevent identity theft. Third, they need financial advice. They need to replan their retirement with a reduced balance. They need to understand their age pension entitlements. They need a budget that reflects their new reality. And they need strategies to rebuild some savings if possible. Fourth, and this is the hardest part, they need to forgive themselves, to stop the self-blame, to understand that they were victims of a sophisticated crime, that it does not reflect on their intelligence or their worth, that they can still have a secure retirement, even if it looks different than they planned.
So what can you do to protect yourself? Let me give you a comprehensive, actionable list. I am going to go slowly. I want you to take notes if you can. Step 1. Never trust unexpected contact. If someone calls, emails, or texts you out of the blue claiming to be from a bank, government agency, or any organization, do not trust it. Always verify independently. Hang up and call the organization back using a number you find yourself. Step 2. Never click links in text messages or emails. If you receive a message from your bank, Centerlink, the ATO, or anyone else, do not click any links. Instead, open your browser and go to the organization's website directly by typing the address yourself, or call them directly. Step 3. Never provide personal information over the phone. Your bank has your details. The ATO has your details. Centerlink has your details. They do not need you to verify them. If someone asks for your password, your PIN, your security codes, hang up immediately. Step 4. Never allow anyone remote access to your computer. Legitimate tech support does not call you out of the blue. If someone claims to be from Microsoft, Apple, or your internet provider and asks for remote access, hang up. If you genuinely have a tech problem, take your device to a legitimate repair shop. Step 5. Never transfer money under pressure. Any request to transfer money urgently is a scam, always. Whether it is to protect your account, to claim a prize, to help a loved one, to qualify for a refund, take time, verify, talk to someone you trust before you act. Step 6.
Be extremely skeptical of investment opportunities. If something promises guaranteed high returns with low risk, it is a scam, always. There is no such thing as a risk-free, high-return investment. If someone is pressuring you to invest immediately, walk away. Step 7. Research before you donate. If you want to give to a charity, research it first. Check if it is registered with the Australian Charities and Not-for-Profits Commission. Visit their official website directly. Do not donate through links in emails or text messages. Step 8. Verify family emergencies. If someone contacts you claiming to be a family member in trouble, hang up and call that family member directly using a number you already have, or call another family member to verify. Take the time to confirm it is real. Step 9. Protect your personal information on social media. Scammers research their targets. If your social media profiles are public, they can learn about your family, your interests, your habits. Lock down your privacy settings. Be careful what you share. Step 10. Use strong, unique passwords for every account. Use a password manager if you need to, and enable multi-factor authentication wherever possible. This adds an extra layer of security even if someone gets your password. Step 11. Monitor your accounts regularly. Check your bank accounts, check your superannuation, check your credit cards, at least weekly if not daily. If something unusual appears, contact your bank immediately. Step 12. Register with ScamWatch. Go to the ScamWatch website. Sign up for alerts about new scams. Report any scams you encounter. The more information authorities have, the better they can protect everyone. Step 13. Talk to your family. Tell them you are concerned about scams. Ask them to be your verification partners. Agree that before you make any significant financial decision, you will talk to them and encourage them to do the same. Step 14. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Trust your instincts. If a call feels off, if an offer seems too good to be true, if someone is pressuring you, stop. Do not proceed. Take time to think. Step 15. Get help if you need it. If you are not confident managing your online banking, ask for help. Your bank has staff who can assist. Your adult children can help. There are community technology classes for seniors. Do not let embarrassment stop you from getting the help you need. Now, what about protecting your superannuation specifically? Here is what you need to know. First, be very cautious about anyone contacting you about your superannuation. Your superfund does not cold call you. If someone calls offering to review your super, to help you get better returns, to switch funds, hang up. If you want advice, contact your fund directly or seek a licensed financial advisor. Second, never give anyone your MyGov login details. Your MyGov account is linked to your tax information, your Medicare, your Centrelink. If someone gets access, they can cause immense damage. Your superfund will never ask for your MyGov login. Third, set up online access to your super account if you have not already. This lets you monitor your balance, check for unusual activity, verify your beneficiaries, make sure your contact details are correct. Knowledge is power. Fourth, be wary of offers to access your super early. There are strict rules about when you can access your superannuation. If someone offers you a way to access it before you're eligible, it is either illegal or a scam, often both. Fifth, review your super statements carefully. Check the fees, check the investment options, check for any changes you did not authorize. If something looks wrong, contact your fund immediately. Now, let me talk about something specific to Australia, the NBN and Centrelink scams. Because these organizations are so large, so bureaucratic, and so confusing, scammers impersonate them regularly. With NBN, you might receive a call saying your internet is going to be disconnected unless you pay a fee or provide your details, or that you are eligible for an upgrade. This is fake. If you have a real issue with your NBN service, contact your internet provider directly. With Centrelink, the scams usually involve threats or promises. Someone calls saying your age pension is being canceled, or you owe money, or you are due a payment you did not know about. Centrelink does send letters. They might call in specific circumstances, but they will never threaten you with immediate arrest. They will never ask for payment over the phone. They will never ask for your banking passwords. If you receive any communication claiming to be from Centrelink, do not respond directly. Instead, log into your MyGov account yourself or call Centrelink using the number on their official website. Verify before you act. Now, what do you do if you have already been scammed? Time is critical. Step 1. Contact your bank immediately. If you have transferred money, call your bank's fraud department right away. They might be able to stop or reverse the transaction if you act quickly enough. Every minute counts. Step 2. Report it to the authorities. Report to your local police. Report to ScamWatch at scamwatch.gov.au. Report to ID Care if your identity information was compromised. Report to the Australian Cybersecurity Centre if it involved technology. Step 3. Secure your accounts. Change all your passwords. Enable multi-factor authentication. Monitor your bank statements daily. Consider putting a ban on your credit file to prevent identity theft. Step 4. Document everything. Keep records of all communication with the scammer, screenshots, emails, text messages, phone numbers. This helps authorities investigate and might help with any insurance or reimbursement claims. Step 5. Get support. Being scammed is traumatic. Talk to someone, your doctor, a counselor, a trusted friend or family member. Do not suffer in silence and do not blame yourself. Step 6. Learn from it. Understand what happened, how they tricked you, what warning signs you missed, not to beat yourself up, but to protect yourself in the future. And share your story, warn others, help prevent them from becoming victims. Now, I want to address something that does not get talked about enough, the emotional toll of these scams. Even if you haven't been scammed, just knowing these threats exist creates stress, anxiety, a loss of trust, a feeling that the world is no longer safe, and that is not a small thing. That is not something to dismiss. Your mental health matters. Your peace of mind matters. And it's okay to feel overwhelmed by all of this. It's okay to feel angry at the scammers. It's okay to feel frustrated that the world has become so complicated and dangerous. But I do not want you to live in fear. I do not want you to become so paranoid that you cannot enjoy life, because that would be letting the scammers win. They would have stolen something even more valuable than your money. They would have stolen your peace, your joy, your ability to trust. So here's what I want you to do. Implement the protections I've outlined. Be cautious, be vigilant, but then live your life. Enjoy your retirement. Spend time with people you love. Do things that bring you joy, because you have earned this time. You have worked for it. You deserve it. And remember, most people are good. Most organizations are legitimate. Most calls are not scams. Most emails are not phishing attempts. The scammers are a minority, a loud, aggressive, persistent minority, but still a minority. You can be both careful and joyful, both vigilant and trusting, both protected and open to life. It is not an either-or choice. It is a balance. And finding that balance is key to a happy retirement. Let me talk about what retirement should look like, what the third act of your life can be. Because yes, protecting your money matters, but money is not the point. Money is a tool. The point is living well, living fully, living with purpose and meaning and connection. Your retirement should be a time of freedom. Freedom from alarm clocks, freedom from work stress, freedom to pursue things you never had time for. Maybe it is travel, maybe it is spending more time with grandchildren, maybe it is volunteering, maybe it is hobbies, maybe it is simply slowing down and enjoying the small pleasures of life. And you can have that, even if your superannuation balance is not as large as you hoped. Even if money is tight, even if you have to budget carefully, you can still have a rich, meaningful, joyful retirement. Because the things that matter most in life, the things that bring real happiness, are not expensive. Time with family, friendship, nature, creativity, learning, contributing, these things cost little or nothing, and they are infinitely more valuable than anything money can buy. But to enjoy these things, you need security. You need to know that you are safe, that your money is protected, that you are not vulnerable to scams and fraud. And that is why everything we have talked about today matters, not because money is the goal, but because financial security gives you the freedom to focus on what really matters. So here's my challenge to you. Take action today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Choose 3 things from the list of protections I gave you, just 3, and implement them today. Maybe it is setting up multi-factor authentication on your banking. Maybe it is having a conversation with your family about being verification partners. Maybe it is checking your superannuation online and reviewing your statements. Just 3 things, small steps, manageable steps, but steps that make you safer. And then, every week, add one more protection, one more habit, one more safeguard. Build your defenses gradually but consistently, because safety is not a one-time thing. It is an ongoing practice, a way of life. And along the way, educate yourself, stay informed,